Street cred sports. Street cred sports. I'm crossing over. I'm Euro stepping.
Hello, this is Keenan, the Street Cred Sports Training, and welcome to another episode of Time to Ball. We back at it.
Hey, Lee Williams, y'all. How y'all doing? Coach Lee. Hey, man, I'm here. I'm excited today, man.
You the co-host, man. They know who you are, man.
I apologize, y'all. It's just a habit. I meet so many different people, and I had to say, I apologize. I don't feel like I still feel like I'm, I still feel like I'm breastfeeding. I'm not gonna lie, man.
You kind of had that Leon look, Lee Williams. Lee Williams. You have any friends that were like that?
Oh, I do, man. I got a couple.
Like,
they thought they were cooler than a fan, man.
No, why you always licking your lips when you talk, man? Your lips
They LL fans, though. They LL fans.
LL school.
Yeah.
School of hard knocks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So how's everything going, man?
Man, it's going good, man. I went to a camp called the Best of the Best.
Right.
Where the top 50 kids are getting in one gym, and this was a little bit different because it was more of a 3-on-3.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what I like. At the very end, they picked the top maybe 12 kids, and they went 5-on-5.
Right.
So that was really good. I got really rejuvenated. Mm-hmm. The girls' game specifically has really, really grown from a grassroots perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, the growth is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they had kids from all over Florida, Canada, Missouri.
Yeah.
You name it. I got around to talk to some of the athletes there, and super humble, like highly skilled.
Yeah.
6'4" kids playing 2 guard.
Yeah. Nice.
And I'm like, hey, how's it going? I said, hey, well, I'm sure you're. Yeah, I was looking to help. I'm sure you got some offers. Well, kinda. Stanford, UCLA. I'm like, girl, you can't say that like that. So it's been cool. Real good. And then we're gonna announce this today. We have joined independent circuit, the top independent circuit in the nation.
Nice, congrats,
so,
man.
Yeah, man, I'm happy for that.
Congrats.
It's definitely gonna be, and we're gonna have some actually tryouts this year. We're gonna have tryouts in 3 or 4 different cities, and so I'm looking forward to it.
And it's good because you've been doing it so long with having players from other cities.
Absolutely.
That you're able to make it work. Because a lot of times players, they'll be on a team that travels. They'll go to a tournament, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, these 2 guys are gonna be playing with us, or these 2 ladies are gonna be playing with us, and they're from another city, and there's no chemistry, and it's now they're gonna highlight those 2 players, and then the team loses a lot of luster. So that's the way you do it is great.
Well, I appreciate it. We get asked that a lot. It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you gotta get the right parents and kids, to be honest, that's gonna buy in and have the understanding of what we're trying to do. So.
Right. I got a quick question.
Sure.
Before I tell you about my week.
Okay.
Was this a true invite only? And what I mean when I ask invite only is there are some camps that are, they say it's invite only, and you'll see the players say, hey, I'm blessed to get an invite. Mm-hmm. But I understand all of that, so I know that it wasn't an invite only. They'll say it's an invite only, but you can have a person nominate you, and it could be your club coach or even your parent that nominates you, and then you get in. Some say they're invite only, but all you got to do is pay it.
Right. Well, this, and I'm like you, because I've heard so many invite only, but they say that to kind of boost up the event.
Right.
Well, this particular event is run by Jason Key, who was a McDonald's All-American voter, as well as ESPNU.
Right.
So, when certain, and I asked, that was a question I asked, because we had 2 kids get invited. Only reason why I went And so I was, like, hey, how did they hear about you, man? We just got an email. Like, and I said, well, who else got it? No one. And,
Right.
they were only taking 28s and 29s, and there were a few. There were maybe 8 30 kids, 20, 30 kids there. And so obviously there is a fee that comes with it, obviously, but and they have to cover themselves NCAA wise.
Yeah.
Is how I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But Jason Key is phenomenal scout worldwide.
Yeah.
And so when he stamps you,
it's proof.
Yeah.
And I know like okay, so there are some levels, there are different levels of invite. There's some where you're invited, you don't have to pay anything. They fly and get you there on some of the higher level ones.
Right.
Some are just invite where you're invited and it's an exclusive. And that's kind of what I was just kind of, I knew what the answer was.
Can I be honest though? They had a few kids that was the case.
Yeah.
Actually, what high school did you attend, sir?
Dallas Lincoln.
Dallas Lincoln. Dallas Lincoln has the #1 guard in the nation.
Yes.
She is unreal.
Yeah.
She has, her frame is that of a college sophomore.
Wow.
And she is a sophomore in high school. And I can't, you can look her up, trust me. And a great kid.
Yeah.
A great kid. I'm watching her, typically a kid like that, you think just gonna take all the shots. This kid was handling the ball, cheering on her teammates. Yeah. And there will be some video out, I'm putting some video out today. The energy in that building was phenomenal. They had girls from all walks of life.
That's great.
Didn't even know each other, but you know what? I'm cheering for you. Maybe you're number 10 and I'm number 12. I'm trying to catch you, but I'm cheering for you.
Yeah.
And so it was a big game.
And that's the thing that like you can play hard and have there was no strong dislike between us. Now our sophomore year, probably no, but I'm just playing. But there was a real fierce competitiveness with us that during the summer, trying to prove that we belong on the floor. But we were also cheering for each other.
Absolutely.
Right? There was no, oh man, now okay, I take that back. There was one guy I was like, yo, like this dude don't belong on the floor, but
oh, for sure. I know you're talking about.
But ultimately, there was no Lee ain't as good as me, or I'm better than him. It was I'm happy now. When we're on the court, it's my job to try to let people know that I feel like I'm better than you, just like on the other side. Absolutely. But I think that's been lost a little bit.
It has been, and the thing with us is, I knew when you were about to cross over, just move, guard somebody else. So there was a level of respect. I already knew that.
No.
As soon as I see you come like this here, I'm like, man, look here. I'm trying to find a 3-point shooter or somebody. But what I'm saying is like I'm trying to get you like you're trying to get me.
Yes.
But I'm also taken away, man. How is he doing that?
Yeah.
The infamous Henry Hall.
Yes. Oh Lord.
Whew. I took a lot of things from Henry Hall.
Yeah, I learned.
He taught me a lot. He tried to embarrass me in front of everybody, play one-on-one. I'm like, let's go, because he wanted to test where I was.
Right.
And so, and I'm ultra competitive. I've had to taper that down.
Right.
Because in this space now, in this generation, like they don't understand.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not. It's funny because Henry Hall once called me I can't say the first part, but he called me a rat. And I was like, and they was like, nah, it's a compliment, man. It's a compliment. It was a compliment. But, I understood after I realized what he said, I understood what he was saying, what he meant by it. But yeah, it's like today's athlete. I'm going to say this, and I'll probably get in trouble for it. Okay. But I'm questioning whether a lot of these athletes today are in it because they love the game, or if they're doing it to become influencers. Because I've seen players put highlights, and it's like that's not a highlight.
Right.
And, it's like the kids, and look, to their credit, marketing, they're really good. A lot of these kids are really good marketing, getting people to quote unquote endorse, buy into what they're doing, everywhere. And I love that part. But then there's the part of me that looks and says, do you actually love the game? Because I need to see your skill set more than, all of these other things.
I think even some of the ones that have the skill set, they're actors. To me, they're like actors. They're playing a part.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you spoke to with the influencers and, how many clicks do I have? You know? They are like, they do things for clicks.
Yeah.
They're driven to whether it's a post, they are literally trying to get clicks regardless of what it is. And it's almost like a reporter not really reporting what's going on, but trying to find the dirt.
Right. Now, I will say, I'm not blaming the kids because you want me to tell you who I blame? Is I'm blaming a lot of trainers. Because I think that's kind of where it started in the influencer age where, people were getting all of these likes, clicks, endorsements and stuff. And there's a segment of trainers that, they're marketing their brand. And I'm not saying they did it intentionally. They're marketing their brand. They found a way to get out. And it was at a time where people were searching for stuff and they, blew up, right? And that was something I didn't take advantage of. I should have taken advantage of it because I was doing it during COVID.
Okay.
But I was like, nah, the in training, I'm not gonna try to do all of that because, I always say I feel like I'm a real ball player. And it's no disrespect to some of these other guys, but that seems to have taken hold to where now players are tending to do kind of an actors, influencer and stuff. So,
and it goes to coaches as well.
Yeah.
Like the coaches have taken the wrong approach to positive coaching.
Right.
Positive coaches, some coaches, is to never really hold you accountable or just to tell you everything's great. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like, I'm gonna just tell you right now, male or female, like if you're a guard, a forward, or whoever you are, if you have turnovers, it's not okay.
Nah,
you are not recruitable.
Nah.
So, we have some kids that could have really developed with us, but they did not, because in our organization, we're gonna be very honest with you. We are going to love on you, but we're gonna be honest with you.
Right.
Because, everybody likes to throw out that term. D1, oh man, you're nice, you this. And trainers and coaches are doing it because they don't want to lose funding, they don't want to lose money, whatever that has. But in the end, you hurt the kid.
And it's funny because, like, anybody who comes in here, it's organic. I've never DM'd, I've never showed up or ran into some kid that's really good and like, hey man, you need to come over here and let me work with you. I might, if I'm talking to them and they're generally interested in stuff, I might just say, let me know if there's anything I can do to help you, right? But I don't do all of that. So my niche has been like, there's a greater pool of players that need to be developed than there is of players that are on a high level.
Well, I'll disagree with that. Per se with you. I'm disagreeing with that because I think there's a lot of players that are really skilled that you could help.
Yeah, I mean,
I
know that. I know that because when I get them and they're skilled and then I have to show them what they lack.
You got to reteach.
Yeah, I have to reteach certain things. I get that, but there's more that need to be developed.
Sure.
There's more.
For sure.
And so like, I know that some, trainers are like, well, they're trying to chase that next big thing because they say, oh, well, if I had this player, then everybody's going to want to train with me.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily true because then you start to see that the only types of players that this person has
Absolutely.
are quote unquote,
Absolutely.
high level players, that's
Absolutely.
going to be intimidating to
Absolutely.
a mid level or a lower level that want to come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see, because I do it. I would like to see other trainers have more players that they're developing, because I don't
Absolutely.
see any players on these videos and stuff, or players that like they've never touched a basketball.
Right.
I can name off probably 50 to 75 players that I've had in the past 2 to 3 years that fit that criteria, that never touched the basketball and don't know what they're doing. And this is not just like a 7 or 8 year old. This is sometimes a 12 to 15 year old.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, people. To be honest, people are really scared of it. I've been one of them, whether it be a coach or a trainer, and they run from coaching. I had to teach myself, Lee, if you say you're a coach and this is who you are, let me see it.
yeah,
I've had to tell myself that, like, okay, this was great, but like, and the point that we always say in our organization is this, like, okay, we know about your top 7. What about the last 4?
yeah.
What do they look like? Where do they go to school at? What kind of looks do they get?
It's because I've never thought of it from that point that you said. Some actually run away from it.
Absolutely.
And that's a great, statement. And the funniest part well, it's not even funny, but the realest part of it is there's nothing wrong with saying that's not my wheelhouse, right? That's not where I, let me put you with somebody who can, or let me try to figure out how to do that, because I would tend to think any coach can teach most fundamentals, right? The dribbling, the layups. The issue, I would say, is when those players are doing the fundamentals, or while they're working on the fundamentals, their technique and their detail is incorrect. That's probably when those coaches should reach out to somebody who's experienced, because like I've always said, one of the biggest things that I have happens when players are doing the between the legs move, and I'm doing a drill with it, and they all do this thing where they skip their foot behind, either from the right to the left or from the left to the right. If they're right-handed, you're going to see it almost exclusively when they're going right to left, right? So
I'm gonna disagree with you again. When you said, hey, this is their wheelhouse, they don't train beginners, something that you taught me early on with this podcast is, hey man, you're not training, you're doing workouts. There's a big difference between if you got a high level kid and you got him in a gym, more time, and you're the expert at this, so I would just say maybe 75% of that most of the time is a workout, not training. It's a big difference. Can you speak on that as far as the audience? What's the difference?
There's a certain level of player that players get to a certain level where it's okay. Yeah, it's going to be more of a workout if, hey, I just need to speed, or I just need to, this is offense. I'm catching the ball a lot right here, so I need to work on my, pump fake or my jab, 2 dribble pull up going left, right? So, if we've worked on that, or if they have that down pat, that's the workout part.
Gotcha.
Because you don't have to really teach. Now, in doing that, if you notice certain things technically about
those details, right?
The details, his pump fake's not selling anything. His jab he's jabbing backwards as opposed to either straight or towards the defender. He goes 1, 2, his second dribble is more of a crossover back to his right hand. Now I got to fix that.
Gotcha.
Right?
See.
If he's not coming over fast enough to get
training.
into his shot,
yes, sir.
That's the part of training, because that's when you start to say, look, you're doing this part right, but it's not going to translate from a standpoint of this defender could be 6'4", right? And if he's 6'4" and he's athletic, that shot never leaves. That shot never gets 4 inches off of your hand,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
So
sir.
now we got to speed that up. But yeah, and I have some that I just want to work on this, so I'll give them different things just to keep them creative when we're doing stuff. Okay. But yes, there is a workout element in any. There should be a workout element in any training, and here's what I mean by that. Mm-hmm. If you're training a player and you're teaching a player how to do reverse layups, right? You show them, you critique them, you get them right, they get it, right? That's the training aspect. Okay. At the point that they're doing it technically sound, now that next 5 to 10 minutes becomes a workout because you're just allowing them to just get multiple.
Both elements are.
You can have both elements.
It should be correct.
It should be because there's no reason to continue to quote unquote train a player if you're showing them. You have to let them get the reps. Right. So I'll tell players, even there's sometimes where even if they're doing something technically wrong, but I need them to get multiple reps in one way, and it's like, okay, I can tweak that at the end. I might give them 20 reps on this. I'll tweak it at the end or after they finish. Yes.
Got you. Yes. I got you. I appreciate because there's a host of people that do not know the difference. You taught me the difference because I didn't know.
Yeah, and then look, I just happen to find out the difference, right? I happen to find it out through the years that I was doing this, and it's the weirdest thing is like the way I train now is different than the way I trained back the first person in Justin Arnsworth in 1998.
Yeah, I didn't know you trained him.
Yeah, he was the first. I had people come to me. There was somebody that came to me even before 98, but I don't remember the kid's name. He was a player at Montwood, and he approached us after the dad approached me after an open gym. It was like, man, I ain't never seen nobody handle the ball like that. Can you work with my kid? And I was like, what you mean work with your kid? Your kid need to get in the gym and work like I did, Right. So I worked the kid. I don't even think I charged him. I worked him out a few times just to, work with some stuff. But Justin was the first one.
I know Justin was your guy. Y'all go way back. Huh?
Yeah, Justin used to come in at Missouri gym. Wow. And when he was trying to, so I worked with him on stuff, and he got a scholarship. He was in New York, something like that. So great kid. I'm a great man. I'm sorry.
He's a great man.
Yeah, he's a great man. Great man. So I'm gonna have to let him know we had a shout out for him.
Absolutely.
Well, man, that expanded a lot more than what I thought. So
necessary though.
Yeah, sure. It was very necessary. So let's get into our things that interest us. Other things that interest us.
All right.
All right. So we had the OG 40-40 club.
He said the bowl.
The OG 40-40 bowl with the Bengals and the Steelers. Yeah. It had Aaron Rodgers, who
Thursday night, correct?
Yes, Thursday night game. Aaron Rodgers, I think he's 41-ish. And we had Joe Flacco, who's I think 41 or 42. They're both old heads, as we say.
Right.
That was an entertaining game.
Man, completely exciting. And what that game highlighted is the Cleveland Browns are trash. The general manager, the cheerleaders, the the owner, you guys don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You don't. There's no way that you and this is where they use this in West Texas a lot. Here also, coaching makes a difference.
Yeah.
Coaching matters. Coaching makes a difference, even in the NFL at the highest level.
Now, how about this? They've had so many players that have been really good outside of Cleveland. That's strange. Right, but that can't be. The GM is picking these players.
I agree.
It's the development part that's,
I think it goes hand in hand, Kay. I think it goes hand, because at that level, just my thoughts. You as a general manager, that's why they say the GM and the coach got to be on the same page, because you have to draft certain players that fit into these guys'
Right.
schemes and that they can coach.
Right. But what if they're drafting them and they're on the same page, but then you start to find out that their coach
Developing.
can't develop
Yeah.
like they said they could,
Yeah.
right? So, but I mean, it was great to see those two.
Now we're talking about a few days.
Yeah.
Like it also goes like I thought both coaches coached a great game.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. But it goes to show, man, if you give a quarterback who's got some experience, and both of those guys have won
Yeah.
Super Bowls, they can make it happen for you.
Yeah,
they can make it happen for you.
It was great because you were, on our side, you're like, man, it's probably gonna be a struggle. But then you understand that these guys have both, like you said, they both won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Flacco's never had the type of receivers
No,
that
sir.
he had.
No,
So
sir.
he
You see
was
him
like
smiling?
he was like a kid in the candy
I've
store, man.
never seen him smile like that.
And
He's so happy.
then Rodgers has Metcalf, so
Yeah.
you have that, and then he has some other ones that you can throw to.
Yeah.
So it was
great game.
it was really, really, really a great game to see them move up and down the field.
Oh,
It was
man, it
really
was awesome.
entertaining. But it had me to think about something,
Okay.
which is our next topic that I guess segues from
sir.
the first.
Okay. What's that?
How good should your backup QB be?
Nowadays, your backup has to be a second-tier starter almost.
See, I was having this conversation with April, which is why I brought this up.
Okay.
I feel
I agree with April. I don't even know what she said.
I feel like your QB should be a first-tier person.
Okay.
And here's why I say that. In the old days, God, making me sound my age. Back then, you'd have backup quarterbacks. They were able to come in, win a game, stay competitive for a few games for you, right? Now, with how injuries are taking hold and how these quarterbacks are missing half the season or full seasons, you are now having these guys in that could maybe do one game or two, but they're not equipped to be that guy, going forward. The Bengals QB, right?
Yeah.
You look at Cooper Rush, who was in Dallas, who looked absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely.
In his stint, before when Dak missed 3 or 4 games.
Right.
Last year, Dak misses most of the season. You started to see that Cooper Rush wasn't that good,
Right.
And now he's struggling mightily
Yeah,
over there. So the thing that I feel like they should be a one-tier player, a top-tier level to be able to back up. It sounds weird to say that. The other side of that is if they are like that, you're not going to be able to keep them.
No, that's why I say second tier. And when I say second tier, I'm talking about obviously skill, but the pay as well. You've got to really be ultra selective when you pick up that backup QB. You got to be ultra selective because, like you said, more guys are getting hurt. I think it's be easier to keep them. I'll say this. It'll be easier to keep them because most teams aren't going to take a backup for a whole season. They're just not going to do it.
That's true.
They'd rather draft.
That's true. I would, now, look, if I put my GM hat on, I'm going to, if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm going to look at getting that next guy in Cincinnati. Obviously, he's going to be a rookie, but it's talented enough because Joe Burrow has had a history of being hurt.
Yeah.
He could come in and run the team, right? And put us in a position, to where we're not worried about it.
But that's hard to do, Kay, because
I know.
Because, for example, there's not many Aaron Rodgers out there that are going to sit behind Brett Favre
Right.
for 3 or 4 years. Those are rare. Those guys want it now. And it comes down to the salary cap.
Yeah.
You've got to get your rookie quarterback in there for that probably 3 to 4 or 5 window where you can try and win a Super Bowl by putting everything around them.
Yeah.
Because once your quarterback gets in that 50 million range, like chances are you're not going to be able to have a solid team
and that's
backups.
That's what Green Bay did that I don't understand why I haven't seen a lot of other organizations follow that same blueprint. You know, when they drafted Brett Favre, when they drafted Brett Favre, he didn't like start right away. They had to develop him, I think, a year or so, and then he took over the reins. Then they had a clock that said, you know, we need to get a quarterback that in 3 years he'll be ready to take over.
Yeah.
So they bring in Rodgers. They don't have to pay him because he's a rookie, right? They're paying a rookie.
Yeah.
They let him go. Now, unfortunately, Brett was trying to string it along. Right. So then Brett leaves, Aaron Rodgers takes over.
Right.
They do the same exact thing with Love.
Right. But it's when they did it, when you kind of see that decline. Brett Favre, from what I understand, he was in Atlanta and was not getting any playing time at all. And a GM moved from Atlanta
to Green Bay. Yeah.
And then said, hey, man, we need somebody, you know.
Yeah, they fleeced them.
Yeah, they did. It was bad. It was bad.
That's right.
You know, that organization, just looking back, you're right. They've done a fantastic job of that.
With the QB, and so they're going to have this. Love will be there for 10 to 12. What's the lifespan of a QB? 10 to 15 years?
If they're good.
Yeah, 10 to 15 years. Because let's say at 23, 15 years, 38. Yeah, so about 10 to 15 years, if you're really good, you can stay there. So if he's going to go to 38, between 33, probably when he's 31, that year is when you probably start to look at identifying good quarterbacks for the next couple of years. Yeah. And basically you bring somebody in that's going to fit that system, right? Yeah.
It's harder to do now, I think, because the quarterback is so protected, so they don't get hurt as much unless you're Burrow, because the rules. You can't hit them low, right? If you tackle them, you can't land on them.
You know what? This is a little off topic when you say that. Do you look at the games and see how DBs and linebackers, when quarterbacks running, they just kind of, they're running, but they're not running to hit them. They're just kind of running like waiting to see what they're gonna do. It's almost like in fear of, I don't want to get a penalty.
Absolutely.
And the craziest part,
a lot of that going on,
is these quarterbacks now, some of them are sensing it, and they're like, they'll run into the DB and knock them down, and now they're flexing.
There are so many quarterbacks that are running people over, and they think it's them.
Yeah,
it's the rules.
Nah, it's the rules. I'll tell you right now. I saw that happen, and I looked at April. I said, "Tell you what, I would tell the coaching staff, and I would tell my team. I was like, hey, I'm gonna take a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty, and I could possibly get ejected, but I'm gonna make sure he knows he can't do that.
Right.
And when he's running, I'm gonna make sure that I ring his bell."
That's my mindset.
I'm gonna ring his
bell.
bell.
I'm watching the games like, hit him.
Yeah.
But it depends on the QB.
Yeah.
If you're Cam Newton, they could hit him upside the head.
I'm talking about Patrick. Look, I love Patrick Mahomes, but I've seen him do this where he can tell that they're not gonna hit him.
Yes, sir.
And close to the sideline, he goes at him and knocks him.
While he's out of bounds.
He flexes, and I'm like, Patrick, man, come on now. You know, if he was really intent on hitting you, you wouldn't be able to knock him over with that force.
I agree. And what it does is, in my mind, how I see it, I just feel like it creates doubt in DBs.
Yeah.
As far as hitting, as far as all that. Because you don't know how hard to go. If you go too hard and you hit them correctly and the quarterback gets hurt, they don't review it. They just kick you out.
Yeah, and it's
bad.
It's bad.
Stop that,
and I get you don't want, because I've seen QBs get laid out.
Sir.
Not when they were sliding, but I've seen QBs try to run and get some yardage and get plastered, right? And it's like, oh, you don't want to see that, right? But I feel like, well, you don't need to be running.
But isn't that the rule? When you run, you're a runner.
Yeah, yeah. Now, in the sliding thing, I think the slide, I was trying to think how can you do it, because the sliding part seems a little bit like they'll slide. It's like sometimes you see them intentionally slide late and then they get hit because they weren't thinking they were going to slide at that moment, because they didn't start that slide early, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean, man. I think it's college, and there's a couple in college and one in the NFL. I can't remember his name. Now they're faking like they're going to slide, and they keep going.
And they keep going. And it's like, so I'm taking a 15-yard penalty. Now, I'm not trying, like, when you slide, and I'm not talking about that type.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
When you slide and I go ahead and
running
hit
back,
you.
when
But
you're
when
running,
you're running, I think we might see that today, Denver and the Giants.
Ooh, that's going to be good.
Denver and the Giants.
Yeah, because this
Scatterboo and Dart.
Yeah, Dart. People are a little bit annoyed of his arrogance. He's
I know exactly what you're saying. I think it should be applied to all players, because it's what he's not doing anything different than what Shedeur or some of the other players doing, but it's viewed as different. I'm okay with any player doing that. But you got to understand that your day is coming. That day could be today, where you are really humble, right? And the one thing I hate about when players are like that, like, with Dart or when Shedeur does it and Scatterboo and all these players, is when they're not playing well.
Right.
They have this, like, no, right. You know what? You take it on the chin, like, man, hey, y'all got me today.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to take our first break, and then we're going to be back. Okay, we're back with our basketball ideology. I was taking a quick break, and I was outside the paint, and he hip checked me. He had a flat back. He go hip check me. I'm like, man, why you hip checking me outside the paint? You supposed to hip check me in the paint. So I see what those QBs are going through.
Hey, listen. You can hip check. You better put that icy hot on first, though. Okay?
Okay, all right. So first topic we're going to go on with my basketball ideology.
Okay.
Is dealing with players who are vastly behind where they should be. Now, when I speak of this, obviously I'm talking about older players.
Right.
8th, 9th, 10th area. Because some of these players want to play, they're looking to try out for their middle school or they're looking to try out for high school, and they're vastly behind. The reason why this topic came up is, I do my groups, and I formed a group of middle and actually I think it's one middle school player, but it's mainly high school players. And, we go through the drills, I'm trying to make sure they understand, especially since trials are coming, I'm trying to give them a sense of things that they should be getting, ready. So I'll do a few defensive drills, some ball handling drills, some shooting drills. Everybody pretty much looks on par. It is when I start to do concepts like balls going to the corner, like I have them stand here, like some of them doesn't understand that if the ball is up top, they need to be here but to the baseline.
Yeah.
They're like this. And I was like, no, you can't do that.
Right.
Well, you're closing out. Can't let them go baseline. And time again, their closeout's terrible. And the kids get beat. The defender gets beat baseline. But what really started to just not make me explode, but open up was when I started talking to them about having to talk on defense. So it was like, okay, this is a switch. This is that some coaches call it stay. I used to call it get through, right? And I just went on there. I'm saying you got to constantly communicate. Whose job is it to communicate? If your person you're guarding is going to screen, you have to communicate, right? And those players, some of those players were so lost that they would constantly double the player. They would stay over here while the ball handler was driving in a 2-on-2 situation for a layup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't do that. And I would explain and show them what you got to do. And then they would still not, they wouldn't talk, which is huge. And they didn't know correctly what they were. So I would say, hey, sit over here, because I put them on like teams where it's two players on each team. Talk about how you're going to defend. Whether it's you're going to always stay or you're going to always let them get through. Whatever it is, this is going to be your communication for you two. This is how you're going to play. And there were certain players, and it was mind blowing how when you're doing the ball handling and the shooting and it looks really good, but then when you do stuff like, okay, we're going to do a simple zigzag defensive drill, helping you understand how to move your feet, pivot and turn, and now on the offensive side, I'm letting you work on your ball handling, and they just like dribbling. It's like they're so static. 1, 2, boom. And they're not going anywhere.
Man, I that is ultra common, regardless of age. Just speaking on, grassroots to high school. To me, kids are very drilled, and they have a hard time transitioning what we learned in the drill and putting into action.
Right.
And so, that's what I noticed is in my early coaching career, I was a drill heavy guy, real drill heavy. And I'm like, man, we drilled it. Like, how can you not get it? And I'm like, Lee, that's on you. I said, less drills, more action.
Yeah.
So this generation, like, they don't do concepts a whole lot, but they do show me in the action.
Right.
And so it's almost like discipline.
Right.
Kids are not gonna confine to what you want them to do until there's consequences.
Right.
If there's no consequences, they just
yeah.
keep doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah, there were consequences because they had to do push-ups, 15 push-ups when they didn't communicate right. And I'm glad you brought up that point, because I need to make sure there's context to this.
Okay.
These were older players who had just come to me that were, relatively new, and they wanted to get out. These players had never played or tried out before, right?
I see.
But they were old enough, and when you're doing some of these other things, I guess it was wrong of me to assume that some of the stuff would translate, that they wouldn't be as lost as they were when you put them in actual game situations, right? Which is why I do that with my groups. I've transitioned into that.
Important.
The funniest thing is my younger group, I've had them for a while, and they started out the same. The 5th and 6th graders, some of them are now 7th grade. And now when I have a newer player that comes, like I had a player come in from out of town, wanted to come in, 7th grader. Came in, I did the individual training. They were okay. A lot of, some work, obviously. But then when they were in the group, same thing. The players that are regulars look phenomenal.
Gotcha.
Communication, knew what to do, setting screens, understanding how to pop either way and stuff. And this player had no clue. It was like a deer in the headlights.
I've usually some coaches is like got to get you going, but you're running from coaching. I've always felt that players who are behind their workouts and their reps have to be different. Let's say, for example, I'm on JV or whatever. I'm on freshman JV or varsity, right? And I'm really not playing. And we've kind of touched on this before. Like, your workouts have to be different. You can't just do that practice and go home.
Right.
Like, yours has got to be before, after, and I'm behind because I'm not understanding the concept.
Yeah.
So how do I rep that? I've got to rep that outside of the school.
Yeah.
And so that's what's really, really important is that, you know, I've talked to a lot of my freshmen last year that didn't play. I said, hey, you're not playing a whole lot. You need to be running on that treadmill or do your conditioning on game days. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, because you got to think about it. Those top 8 are conditioning because they're playing.
Right.
They're going to be in shape. You're not going to be in shape.
Yeah.
So just think if you did that for 20 games, you're playing 30 games, 30 plus games. You do it for 20, like it affects you when your team is up or down and you get in and you're not going to look well.
Right, right.
So in order to really represent, as they say, you have got to do the extra, whether that's shooting, whether that's ball handling, whether that's, I mean, you got to condition.
Yeah.
But even if I'm in college or even high school, I'm gonna take the freshman coach. Hey, coach, can you work with me on the closeouts, please?
Yeah.
Can we I'm getting a manager, I'm getting somebody.
Somebody.
And I'm repping that 10, 15, 20 minutes before practice, maybe even after.
Right.
You know, and so that's how you catch up. It's kind of like Kobe. Kobe said, you know, he was I guess he was 9 or 10, didn't score the whole season. He said he knew he had to get 3 workouts in a day in order to catch up.
Right.
And once you do that, that continues. Now the person behind you can't catch you.
No, because they're not going to. And to your point, the one thing I actually, and I've actually seen players and parents kind of like, you know, I never thought of that. I tell them, when you're trying out, or if you're going to go and try to take somebody's spot, if there are 12 players on that team, you're not trying to be as good as number 8, 9, 10, 11. You need to be as good as number 3 and 4.
I like that. Yes, sir.
Because they don't.
They're not playing either.
Yeah. Well, 7 through 12 might not hit the floor, so
Right.
you don't need to replace. They don't need you to replace them because they already got kids to do that.
Right.
You need to be coming in to try to put somebody in that starting 5,
Yeah.
even if you're not going to be a starter. You're going to be number 6 or 7 on that team, and you push somebody out. So,
And when you do that, and I'm going to repeat this again because this is important, players and parents. When you do get in, you look amazing. You make the coach look crazy.
yeah. Yeah.
If you've done your work, you really make people say, well, why is he on JV? Like, what? Like, this guy played varsity. In 4 minutes, he had 12 points. Like, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
And then you make him rethink his process.
Right.
And now you get those reps.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's how you level up.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm 100% in agreement with you.
How do you get parents on board with that, or the kid on board with that? With that process?
I mean, like, for me, it's mainly, I think something that I've been told that I do well is how I communicate with players and get them to understand. But more importantly, I'm able to get them to see it.
To visualize it.
To visualize it. Like, you know, you're really good, so you're not going to struggle in this drill. Don't go through this drill because you know how to do it. You go through it extremely fast, and there you don't lose the ball in the ball handling drill. You don't miss any layups, and you're going full speed on your layups.
Gotcha.
Don't miss no jump shots, right? If you miss more than 2, then you're not who you thought you were.
Right.
In this sprint drill, you can't be behind. You should be leading. In this, 2-on-2, 3-on-3 closeout defensive drill, nobody should be scoring on you. Right? If they score on you, well, how did that happen?
Right.
Now, they can't look to mom, and mom can't say anything because mom or dad is sitting there watching.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, you got to get better because I'm teaching you this out of love. High school coaches, if you can't do what they need you to do, you're going to be sitting on the bench.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
So, it's visual with me, and I think it's worked for me all these years.
But something you said that was important is that communication piece.
Yeah.
Building that rapport and that trust.
Right. So I'll use this example. I have a team training and these are 5th, 6th grade kids. Mm-hmm. There's a kid who's obviously he's behind. He doesn't understand as much, right? He's learning. He's developing. We did a drill, and he kept getting beat on the baseline. And he turned and you could see his eyes were getting ready to start crying. And I stopped and I looked at the rest of the team and the rest of the kids, and I was like, I said, man, this is not just on him. I said, look, this is a drill. You guys got to help him understand. You have to be the ones to talk to him as well, because y'all gonna need each other in the game.
Yeah.
In the game, if he's making these mistakes, those are points.
Yes,
and
sir.
let's just say you only happen to have 5 that game. There's no sub. So you need to get him ready and
like
hold
that.
him accountable.
I like that.
Just like when you guys mess up in these drills that you're going to mess up on, he needs to hold you accountable. I said, play to your strength. And after that training, by the end of that training, he was busting his hump. He was not letting them go baseline.
That's awesome.
And the other players were congratulating on him.
That's
And
awesome.
then you could tell his confidence. And he started doing things that he shouldn't have been doing. I was like, okay, hold up, fella. That's not in your toolbox right now. I said, look, I love the confidence,
Right.
but that's not in your toolbox just now. You need to work on that to get it. But the confidence, the shoulders. And then after we left, the dad always, we leave, walked me, looked at me, and I said, thank you. Like, I've been trying to get him to see and understand. And I told him, I said, look, nobody's going to care about you. The other team ain't going to care, and the other coach is going to try to get those mismatches and exploit it. So you better learn and understand it now and deal with it in practice.
Yeah, that's why they say, man, a player-led team is going to always be the coach-led team.
Yes.
Always.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man, there's no more gratitude than getting love from a player.
Yeah, right. And
know?
and sometimes I wish I could have it recorded, because like Els sometimes will record certain, and I'll put it up at some point. He's really good at recording certain things, and that I'm not paying attention to. And then when you see the drill or what the concept we're working on, you can tell that they're learning, and that's what I'm loving. So.
Gotcha.
All right, the next topic on basketball ideology is difference between pickup basketball and organized basketball. Now, I might have covered this a long time ago when I first started, but it is of utmost importance that it's covered today. What do you think the difference is?
For me, pickup basketball and organized basketball. Pickup basketball, in my mind, is really important from a competitive standpoint, because people test your heart.
Right.
They test your heart. And this is just one aspect. There's many aspects. I'm just going to cover this aspect. I think the accountability piece is a lot bigger on the pickup basketball, because coach ain't here to protect you.
Right.
We lose these games, I'm on you.
Yeah, because you might not play no
Like,
more than that.
and guess what? I got a solution for it. I'm picking up somebody else.
Yeah.
So a lot of more feelings get hurt in a pickup basketball game than an organized basketball game, for sure.
Why is that?
Man,
Well, okay. Why is it that in basketball, in organized basketball, you don't have those certain problems that you do in pickup basketball?
because you got some guys that don't want to lose, and it'll be fist to face.
Right.
There's a potential chance of you getting harmed if you're not guarding your man. Unfortunately, I've been a part of some of those where I had to handle some business at times, and I've also gotten hit at times, per se. So, I mean, you have to protect your mind. You got to showcase your toughness. You got to showcase the no fear, because there are many messages sent in pickup basketball.
Right.
I'm gonna put you on the island. we gonna put all 4 over here. You're gonna have to guard.
Right.
Because there is no zone.
Right.
If there is a zone, like you're getting clowned, people just get you off the court. Man, gone. We ain't playing no zone. You have, and you know this very well. You better have a sense of toughness about you.
Yeah.
Because you will get exposed, for sure.
Well, where I was going, I didn't even think about what you said. I loved everything you said. Where I was going with it, the difference between pickup and organized is, number one, in pickup, you like, okay, now, on the very, very competitive level where you have guys, who are in a place where they have to, if there's a, like, I'll give you an example. When I would show up, at the court, back at home growing up, if you didn't stay on the court, if you lost, it might be another hour
or two
before you got back on the court.
Yeah.
So you knew you had to defend and score, right?
Absolutely.
Some of these pickups, it's only like maybe 7 or 8 guys. So, there's still, 12 to 13 guys. So you're still going to have
I'm talking
3.
about the pickup we were
Right,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys aren't really playing defense.
Right.
You have players who've never played organized ball. They're in for kind of like exercise.
Yes, sir.
And I remember
That's
distinctly recreation, because I remember a guy who in the pickup, could play competitive, all of that. But when there was a tryout, when he was playing a team, he was lost.
I have a guy also, phenomenal pickup player.
Right.
Phenomenal. Anytime he saw some white shirts, jersey stripes, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it. And a lot of it is like they don't have the discipline to run sets,
right.
run plays.
Right.
I remember when I was first graduating in a particular school, Coronado. Coronado was looking to hire me as the JV coach because the varsity coach was leaving to Americas. JV coach was leaving to Americas. So he invited me, called me over, had an interview and everything, and says, well, so far you got the job, but I need to see you play. I know you're from Andrews. I need to see you play. So
no, he didn't.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the hell do you mean by that? I knew what he meant.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that kind of stuff, like I can fit in any system. You know what I'm saying? I just adapt. So I get in, I'm screening, cutting, slashing, backdooring, and 2 or 3 hours go by, and he says, "Hey Lee, let me talk to you for a second." He goes, "Where did you learn that from?" I said, "Coach, it's basketball." I said, "I can play in any system. I trained myself to play in any system." A lot of coach, where I go play at Veterans Park in the Northeast, guys are too good to one-on-one.
Right.
You're going to have to move and do different things.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a matchup, we'll do that.
Right.
But you got to learn to play without the ball, because I played with older guys where I couldn't have the ball in my hand.
Right. So
if I did have the ball in my hand long enough, they're going to snatch me off the court.
Right.
So I had to learn that. He was like, "Oh, wow." So once I explained it to him, he was like, "Okay, that makes sense." So, you can learn a lot of things in pickup if you're playing in the right element or environment. If you have any type of weakness, you better understand how to play. I knew early on. I was 13, 14 years old, and I'm playing with guys that are 25, 28, 30 years old. Who are the shooters? I recognized it early. I'm going to get you open. I'm going to make life good for you. You don't need to guard the best player. Let me do it.
Right.
So I learned early, like, hey, I learned how to fit in, and I learned my role immediately.
Yeah.
And that's just, some kids just don't have that. Well, they don't play pickup enough.
Right. And that's the thing, is like that was what I was going at. Everything that you touched on is pickup. The pickup I was speaking of was, more recreational, where you have some players that are playing and they just don't know, what they don't know, because when they're playing pickup, it's usually standing around, maybe I go rebound, fast break and stuff. But the true essence of the game is more than that. And when you put a lot of those players in where they have to move, yeah, it doesn't go well.
And I apologize, I didn't know what area you're going. But
No.
When you said pickup, like, and I'm not bragging or being arrogant at all, but the pickup we were involved in, you had to be invited.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get in the building.
Do you remember? I can't remember who was on the team, but Johnny Melvin, he kept losing, and there were like 5 to 15 guys on the sideline.
You ain't getting on. I got next.
And Johnny was like, well, we got next. And I said, nah, we running that back.
Yep.
And they like, yo, but we here. He's like, y'all not on the team. Y'all not. We running this back. It was so funny because the look they had was like,
that was 3 games in a row. I remember that. Hey, until he won.
Until he won. So then the other guys was like, nah, we go.
hey, he walked around Cooper like, no, dog, no. But see, that environment, what are you gonna do?
Right. Yeah.
You see, so even before the game starts, somebody said, who got next?
Yeah.
And if you say I got next and you weren't good, you didn't have next anymore. So what were you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
So I've literally had to prepare myself to fight, literally, fisticuffs, because somebody was trying to take my game.
Yeah.
And so, as I got older, you prove yourself. Like, I didn't have to worry about that. I was the OG at that time, per se. So you had to earn your stripes. I don't think there's enough stripes earned in organized basketball.
No, there's not. Well, I appreciate that. I remember that.
I can't believe you remember that.
I was laughing so hard.
And what did everybody do? They just sat down. All right, man.
Like, what you gonna do, man? Like, dog, you a visitor here, man. You know, like, how did y'all even know about OpenGym?
You had to be invited. Like, the door's locked. You had to have somebody co-sign for you. Remember that? Literally.
Oh, my God.
Hey, and I'm gonna say this: even if you're on the team, if you were performing, get on out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
because I remember one of my first experiences was guarding Eddie Rivera.
Yeah.
And I'm still feeling weird about the ACL, and I'm still trying to get my bearings and stuff. Eddie's killing me. He's killing me. Johnny like, come on, Shawty Rowe. You gonna have to, hey, come on, Shawty Rowe. We're gonna have to switch. Ed says he scores and he says, all blanking day.
Ooh.
So then the next time he comes down, he's at the top. Now it's kind of a pride thing, and I'm, and he hits me with the little stutter cross, and I was like, boom, and I'm gone. It was so smooth, he didn't even realize I hit the ball until he's going here and the ball's not there. He turned around and grabbed me by my shorts.
That embarrassed me.
I was gone.
You was gone.
And then Johnny Miller like, that's right, Shawty Rowe, let's go. And I'm looking at him like, and I'm laughing to myself, and I'm thinking like, if he hadn't said all day, it was literally all day, because I'm still trying to learn. I'm still trying to understand what I can do. I've never really played against him and stuff. But once you did that, that's something different now. Now I'm in. I'm locked in.
Yeah, man. They used to challenge me all the time. Phil, Croc, all of them. But like the hardest guy that I had to guard was Henry Hall.
Yeah, Henry.
He was
and we'll have to put him on so we can talk about what he did, because they were like, well, what was he doing? So we're going to dedicate that time.
Absolutely.
But now it's to the most interesting conversation. You done lost your damn mind.
Here we go.
Today we're going to cover a subject that I just happened to think about last night. I don't know where this is going to go. It could be some fisticuffs going on, or we could be like, oh, yeah. Best show ever. The Wire, Sopranos, Sons of Anarchy, or Power?
Are we going by longevity?
I know. Best show ever. Whether it was 2 seasons or whether it was 15.
Man, look. I'm gonna say The Wire.
Damn.
I'm gonna say The Wire.
I
I'm
wanted
sorry.
us to be able
sorry.
to argue.
I'm gonna say The Wire. Now, all the shows you named are absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah, all of them.
Incredible. You know, I like Power because the spinoffs, all the spinoffs and all. But like I gotta give props to 50 Cent.
Yeah,
I really do. I really do, man. And maybe it's not his creativeness, but the people he put together.
Right.
I mean, he has changed so many lives.
Yeah.
For those actors and things of that nature, like when you think it's done, he finds another way to spin it off, man. Yeah. And I like that culturally there's different type of folks in there.
Yeah. Now,
that's what I like too.
There's one show I didn't put on, I didn't add, and that was Breaking Bad, but that's because you've never really seen
I've never
Breaking
seen
Bad. So,
y'all forgive me. I haven't seen it.
But Breaking Bad is good, but it ain't The Wire.
No, sir.
Sir. When I worked with juvenile probation, I was turning people on to The Wire. Mm-hmm. These people were calling in to work sick because they were so hooked. I had a defense attorney that I let borrow it. He had gotten into the middle of season 1. He was like maybe midway through. 2 days later, he comes in, he gives me back. I was like, you finished? He's like, nah, I went ahead and bought it. It was that good.
Look, literally, like, I remember me lining everything up to watch The Wire. I don't care if it was a basketball game. I don't care what was going on. The Super Bowl could have been going on when The Wire was on HBO. Yeah. I was there. I mean, that show is incredible. Yeah. Because number one, it highlighted that DC area. Right. Or the what do they call the area? Yeah. The Baltimore area. Like, I didn't know anything about that. Right. I had no idea. So, and then just what was going on and all those characters. Like, those characters I still remember today. Yeah. For life. Yeah. Like my man from England. Iris Eldra. Yes. Iris. I don't think he would have been big of a star if it's not for The Wire. Nah. At least from the community that I'm around. Right. I mean, man. Stringer Bell, Omar, baby. Yeah, Stringer Bell was real deal. Yeah. He was smart. Like, I didn't even know he was from another country.
Yeah. Until you heard him talk with the interview. Like, oh.
Yeah, he interviewed it. I'm like, man, this man is from English, British? Like, I had no idea. Like, to me, that just blew my mind. Yeah. It blew my mind how incredible he was. Yeah. And so he's always got my respect. I mean, he could do anything. Right. That guy right there. Yeah. Stringer Bell.
I love
Omar. Woo.
I love Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, sir.
It was funny because you would always get a Jesus Christ in every episode. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, where are all these people coming from that get killed? Ain't nobody understanding that, like, all these people, because somebody got killed in every episode of Sons of Anarchy.
No doubt.
Breaking Bad was good. It was really good.
What is it about?
A chemistry teacher ends up being
a meth guy,
drug kingpin.
I heard about it.
It's a really good show. Like, if you ask April, that's gonna be. But then,
is it a movie or a series?
No, it's a series.
Okay.
But then when she really thinks about it, she knows that The Wire is the best ever.
Absolutely.
All right. So before we go,
Sopranos good too. Now.
Oh yeah, I love me some Sopranos. Those are my favorite two. Favorite season of The Wire.
I like 1.
1 is good. 3 to me is the best season.
3?
3 reminds me of home. Because it was Marlo shows up and it's the drug war. Yes. So 3 hours. Yes. I actually showed April
2 I didn't like.
I did like 2. I really liked 2 because it was different, but it was the same.
Yeah, I didn't like.
I think it was because
it threw me off a little bit.
It went away from some of the characters that you had built in 1, but it expanded. So when you get to 3, 4, and 5, some of those other characters were still around and doing it, and you remember them. But I had to show April. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take her home. It's like, I gotta get her prepared. I showed season 3 of The Wire, and the funny part is, Okay, you remember the little where Omar gets killed?
Yeah.
And that place looks exactly like a place that I took her when I would go get my cookies. And she walks in and we're looking, she's like, oh my God, this looks like where Omar got killed.
You're crazy. She said Omar, huh? What about Power? Which Power?
I got into Power. It was good. I would say maybe season 1 for me.
I'm talking about which one? The one with Ghost? Or the one with...
Yeah, the one with Ghost.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I have to get more into the other ones because
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, they're
Man, I love Tommy though.
Yeah, Tommy was cool.
That's my
Tommy
boy.
was cool. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. I tried, no argument here. If he'd have said something else, boy, I might have flipped the table in. But
I wanted to say Power, but because there was a lot of all the spinoffs, but The Wire, it doesn't matter.
It's that show stands the test of time.
No question about it.
All right, so we're gonna end it today. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, comment. Let us know what you think on any other subjects that we talked about. If you think one of those shows is better than The Wire, bring it on. It's gonna get deleted, but I might read it. But I was just playing. I wouldn't do that to y'all,
man.
So we're gonna end it like we always do. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. We out.
Peace.
Street cred sports, say it with your chest. Yeah. Go get it from the net. Street cred sports, okay, that's a bet.